Hi again. This is chapter 2 of The Nights at Dawn. Jack and Annie are on an adventure. So chapter 2 is titled Leaving Again. "No one's here," Annie shouted down. Jack thought about going home. Then he thought about all the books in the treehouse. He started up the ladder. When he was nearly to the treehouse, he saw the light in the distant sky. Dawn was starting to break. He crawled through a hole in the floor and took off his backpack. It was dark inside the treehouse. Annie was shining her flashlight at the books scattered about. "They're still here," she said. She stopped the light on the dinosaur book. It was the book that had taken them to the time of the dinosaurs. "Remember the Tyrannosaurus?" asked Annie. Jack shuddered. Of course he remembered. How could anyone forget seeing a real live Tyrannosaurus Rex? The light fell on the books about Pennsylvania, the red silk bookmark sticking out of it. "Remember the picture of Frog Creek?" said Annie. "Of course," said Jack. "That was the picture that brought them home." "That's my favorite," said Annie. The light was shining on the book about knights and castles. There was a blue leather bookmark in it. Annie turned the page with the bookmark. There was a picture of a knight on a black horse, and they were riding towards a castle. "Annie, close that book," said Jack. "I know what you're thinking." Annie pointed to the knight. "Don't, Annie. We wish we could go see this guy for real," Annie said. "No, we don't," shouted Jack. They heard a strange sound. "Nee!" It was the sound of a horse neighing. They both went to the window, and Annie shined her flashlight down at the ground. "Oh no," said Jack. "A knight," said Annie. "A knight in shining armor riding a black horse through Frog Creek woods." Then the wind began to moan, the leaves began to tremble, and it happened again. "We're leaving," cried Annie. "Get down!" The wind moaned louder and the leaves shook harder, and the treehouse started to spin. It spun faster and faster. Jack squeezed his eyes shut. Then everything was still, absolutely still. Jack opened his eyes and he shivered. The air was damp and it was cool. The sound of the horse's whinny came again from below. "Nay!" "I think they're here," whispered Annie. She was still holding the castle book. Jack peeked through the window. Where do you think they're going to end up? The huge castle loomed out of the fog. He looked around. The treehouse was in a different oak tree, and down below the knight on the black horse was riding by. "We can't stay here," said Jack. "We have to go home and make a plan first." He picked up the book about Pennsylvania and he opened to the page with the red silk bookmark. He pointed to the photograph of Frog Creek woods. "I wish—" "No," said Annie. She yanked the book away from him. "Let's stay. I want to visit the castle." "You're nuts. We have to examine the situation," said Jack. "From home." "Let's examine it from here," said Annie. "Come on." He held out his hand. "Give it." Annie gave Jack the book. "Okay, you can go home. I'm staying here," she said, and she clipped the flashlight to her belt. So look at, that's where they are. "Wait," said Jack. "I'm going to take a peek, a teeny peek," she said, and she scooched down the ladder. Jack groaned. Okay, she had won. He couldn't leave without her. Besides, he sort of wanted to take a peek himself. He put down the book about Pennsylvania. He dropped the castle book into his backpack, and they stepped down the ladder, and they headed out into the cool, misty air. Chapter 3 will be up next. See you guys in a bit.